very hip.
Hello everyone, welcome here to General Games here in Caulfield, lovely Malvern East Caulfield. The lines are blurry. I'm here with Sean Brown, we're the two Salt Mine boys.
Yeah.
We're here for the top 4 of our Saturday sanctioned legacy.
Yep.
So Sean and I didn't make the top 4 when I had Delvedick, so we're here to watch Joe Carrigan on Czech Pile and Justin Ventura on Honda Civic Grixis Delver.
Yes. So, yeah, we played Tamagotchi today.
Yeah.
And we did not go particularly well.
Kicked it old school, but I didn't get pushed, so...
Yeah, no.
It was actually a really good creature. Just the pilot behind the deck wasn't great.
Nor I.
All right, so this is a matchup that is traditionally quite tough for the Delver deck. Sean, how do you feel about the Grixis Delver Czech Pile matchup?
Well, it depends. If Justin's on the... Joe's on the play, since he has the higher seed. So, yeah, you can really just get outgrinded here. I think Justin's just on the typical Bob Huang Spell Pierce list, so he certainly can capitalize on the fact that he has an extra true name.
Yep.
Spell Pierces to stop those Colligans.
An extra Pyromancer, which I see he's got in his hand.
Exactly. So he can just... He might be able to, if he can kind of get out ahead, just throw idiots at Joe until Joe kind of can't keep up. Especially ones like Pyromancer and True Name, which can get around annoying stuff like Baleful Strix. That would be pretty good. And also, as Joe's taking a mulligan. So, yeah. Already ahead on resources.
Justin probably pretty happy to be drawing a card and then against the mulligan, opponent who mulled to 6. So I see the Pro Pyromancer combo in Justin's hand. Is that 2 Pyromancers?
I think it's a Lightning Bolt. No, I think it's actually 2 Pyromancers.
There it is, 2 Pyromancers.
He has got just guys. His hand is literally guys galore. It's 2 Pyromancers.
I think that's all you want, right?
If he had a Deathrite, it would be even better.
Even better.
Even better, yeah. So
we look at Joe's hand. He's got double Brainstorm, Fetch Land, Colligan's Command, Baleful Strix, and what's the lucky last? Come on, land. Oh, it's another Baleful Strix.
I still think this is a keep.
I think
you have 2 Brainstorms. You can't roll that at all. It's a scry.
Right. So he's scrying.
I imagine if this is a land, he'll keep it on top. Otherwise, otherwise we'll see. All right, so it's probably not a land. Got a Delta. You may see the disgusting turn 1 Brainstorm. I'm surprised. I guess he plays around Spell Pierce by doing it now.
Sure, and he doesn't know whether Justin's playing Stifle or...
Yeah.
He can go get a basic island if he wants, or...
I would
Underground
actually
Sea.
probably just get a C here. But
yeah, at this point, let's not worry about playing around Wasteland. Let's just be able to cast our spells efficiently.
Correct. But he goes for the island.
Love it. Ice Age.
These are nice. This is the one with the head on it, right? Isn't it? The face. It's like ooh.
No, the hooting owl.
Hooting. Not quite hooting mandrills.
All right, so we are seeing a 2-1 Brainstorm.
Yeah, but got to do what you got to do.
All right, so I see a Tropical Island. That's good, and a Fetch Land. Well, that's tremendous.
That's exactly what you wanted. You can see though, if he didn't hit the Fetch Land though, he would get punished for fetching that island because he wouldn't be able to cast a Strix on turn 2.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I still like getting the C.
I think I'd put that Colligan's Command lower to the bottom.
Yeah.
Probably draw Force Wheel next turn.
I think you still want to keep the...
You can keep the Force Wheel, but...
Yeah, I still think you want to keep the Force of Will. Because you'll probably force pitches.
Yeah, I'd put Strix and Colligan's Command in that order. So Strix on top, Colligan's Command
I think he needs to keep the Trop in his hand as well. So yeah, Strix... something like that. Especially, you don't want to have too many Strixes in your hand, especially since they might Therapy Probe you. Yeah. Although we know that Justin's not playing that list, but it is something to consider.
All right, so Justin puts himself out as the villain with the turn 1 Gataxian Probe.
Is it really that villainous?
Yes, it is. It's villainous.
Super heinous? He's not doing like the Pyromancer thing yet. I'm surprised. I guess he needs to get his hand moving. Because I think this hand is lacking like a proactive turn 1 play, like a Deathrite or even a Ponder or something like that. I think
he does have a Ponder.
No,
maybe he's got double
I think
probe.
It's probe. I think he's had a probe as his cantrip. Okay, he draws a Volk. All right, so that's good. We have our second land for Pyromancer. I imagine we might see
a Brainstorm.
Yeah. No, please. On both sides?
Yeah.
Awful.
Make it even. All right, so...
All right, we're going to get Strix going here. So I imagine there's going to be a fetch. Oh, he put the Trop under. All right, I'm not sure I really...
Well, I mean, with the 2 Strix, he's got 2 chances to have a look at more cards and the Brainstorm. So maybe he just thinks
Okay,
he wants
he's
a bevy of spells.
I don't like throwing out your Brainstorm so early from Joe because I think he's going to end step Brainstorm here to hit that trop and just keep his hand moving. But especially since Justin's not doing much, I would actually like to just be slamming a Baleful Streak and have the trop still in my hand.
So Justin elects not to play Pyromancer Probe.
Interesting. I think because he has an extra land to defend it with.
Do we have the wrong deck lists?
What do you mean?
Is he really playing Pyromancer Delver?
Oh, he has a Pierce to defend it. That's why.
It doesn't matter. He's got 2.
Yeah, I would actually. Everyone's not being very proactive here, and Justin especially should be the one trying to really throw crap at his opponent as quickly as possible. Put him on the back foot.
It is Saturday, 4 p.m. So perhaps the players are just being a bit more cautious than they normally would be.
I think we're just all feeling pretty relaxed. You know, what is on the stakes here? What is for first place?
I have no idea. So our producer will chime in eventually.
He will soon chime in eventually, I'm sure. Between the games, we will see what glorious prizes.
All right, so there is price support, and
there's something. There's something.
Does Justin not getting ahead on the board and not starting to make him as the
Aggressor.
aggro deck?
Yeah.
Make it not. He's got to start putting out questions to be answered.
I agree.
Because Joe's the control deck. So Joe's the control deck. He wants to play this game. He's recovered from his mulligan now with the Balfour Strix. He's now at parity. So I guess we can now play.
I think Justin's might just be aiming to slam True Name. I actually don't really like here. I mean, that's the only reason to double fetch at the moment. So, I'm not sure. I think you want to save the True Name for kind of your end game, really, and throw Pyromancers since they are very
unless his
vulnerable.
plan is to empty his hand as fast as possible against the discard. But
that's yeah, but that would mean playing Pyromancer as soon as possible. All right, so we are seeing this. So
Okay.
I think the fetch was a bit premature here, especially since Justin has a Brainstorm in hand.
So young Pyromancer, it's being debated about whether he's going to force a will, and
Looks like that's
Joe
the case.
does.
And Justin punishes him with a Spell Pierce.
Oh, see, it all worked out in the end.
So here, this is interesting. Joe could really fall behind on cards here, though, if he forced this. So we see our players here making the stack.
He brainstorms into another force of will.
Yeah, but Joe's going to fall very far behind on cards if he does decide to force
Well,
back.
yeah, the True Name was just open for landing.
I guess the issue is he doesn't have a red source. So, and he couldn't fetch for the Badlands because he had a Misty Rainforest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because it's bad.
So you can see Joe here actually getting really punished for not getting that Underground Sea as his first turn 1 play because he's cut himself off red mana and therefore he's looking for an answer for this Pyromancer desperately and he may have to like basically empty his hand to do that.
Well, Joe lets it resolve, so maybe he's wary of falling too far behind in the resource department. So we're going to see a probe.
Well, now he's falling quite behind.
Get an elemental trigger.
Yeah, I think because Pyromancer is going to stick around for 1 turn.
So you got another probe. That's 3 probes this game.
No, it's 2.
No, he's got 1 more in hand.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Well, they tend to cycle into each other.
Told you
Jesus.
he's the villain. Come on, 4th one. No.
Complete set in the graveyard.
So we can cast another Gataxi probe if we want, or we can he's going to ship it back.
Okay,
All right.
interesting.
So Joe draws the Deathrite Charmer for turn that we saw from the Brainstorm.
Yep.
Now we're going to have to find a way to clear Justin's side. I believe that it's like one main deck Toxic Deluge is pretty common.
Yep, that's pretty common.
I mean, if Joe hit True Name and Pyromancer and Elemental with Toxic Deluge, that would just be insane.
But I think Justin will at least pace his threats and probably, I mean, he has a Brainstorm in hand. It looks like you have a Wasteland.
Wasteland's
as well.
pretty good.
That's
It's going to go after the Underground Sea.
Yeah, that's quite good. Now the question is whether he deploys the Pyromancer.
Pyromancer and a hard cast probe.
I don't like that at all. So he can deploy another Pyromancer or just slam his True Name. So you can see here the Bob Huang Civic lists are really just throwing guys at the opponent. Like just throwing guys continuously.
Fortunate he found one of his 2 spell pieces.
Yes. Well, you can see the spell pierce, the power of it there, because it really punishes the dirtily plays, even though we saw it hit a force, but the kind of dirtily plays. So
Justin's exploded onto the board within the last 2 turns.
see, but the thing is, imagine here, if Justin had slammed that Pyromancer on turn 2,
Mhm.
what would have Joe done? He would have forced, right? And then Justin wouldn't even get into that like first stack battle. Like it would just be, and then he could be slamming True Name. So as a
Or
Delver
perhaps
deck,
Joe would force back
yeah,
from the brainstorm and then have
fall
the pierce for
behind.
that.
So the point is though, Justin spent turn 2 doing nothing, which you don't want to be doing as a Delver deck. Because here we could keep applying pressure. There might not be one Pyromancer on the board and not as many tokens, but you'd have a True Name instead.
That's all right. I mean,
he's in a good position anyway, but one of these Pyromancers is going to get Kolaghan's commanded here.
with the quickness too. Tapping Deathrite like one of the birds of paradise is. I love it. All right, so 2 mana, what, discard?
Yeah, I imagine.
Sorry, 2 damage discard. All right, so we're going to brainstorm in response.
I like this, of course.
Yeah, 2 more dudes.
Yeah, more dudes. Justin's token's a foil.
Yeah, these are the unhinged or something.
Right.
Oh, a force wheel.
I think there's a blue card lacking, though. Oh, no, he could pitch the True Name. Is an option. I think that's actually pretty viable considering.
Well, that's 2 more tokens.
yeah.
Then he's up to 2 for
a lot of tokens.
7.
Yeah, I actually think that's going to happen here. I like doing that. I mean, Justin could, of course, preserve the Force of Will to save himself from a deluge or something like that.
Very aggressive.
Yeah,
that's a Rounders reference for everyone.
So he could hold the Force of Will since he's so far ahead. All right.
Oh, and Joe fights back.
Joe fights back. So Joe's completely empty-handed now, though.
But really, for Justin, the Pyromancers have done their work.
Oh, 100%.
I've never seen so many tokens.
Well, usually the game's over by then.
Yeah, except for Krenko.
The boy, the mob boss. The boss.
All right, so now we can even bolt that Strix or the Deathrite out the way and just slam everything.
I think you're going to want to shoot the Deathrite.
Shooting the Deathrite makes the most sense.
It's going to end up bricking the ground the most over the next few turns. Also, you can keep cutting him off mana, like he won't have access to red mana, so that's always good times. Justin swinging with all the idiots.
That's 7.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. Okay.
So 7. So Joe's going to take 6 down to 10.
So,
and then he's got a bolt in hand to take out
the Deathrite.
And then again another token. It's up to 7.
No, it's like nothing happened at all.
8, 9. So he's just short of lethal next turn.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what card Joe can have to pull himself out.
It's Deluge or Bust, really. It really has to be Deluge.
Well, how about another Strix?
I know Joe's playing actually some spicy cards in his list. Maybe in his sideboard. He's a spice master, Joe.
Fans of the General Games YouTube channel will know how many spicy one-offs he can just put in any deck.
I've seen, yeah. He got someone when he was playing Merfolk with the thing that steals equipment from Mirrodin. It costs a blue. It's an enchant, an aura, maybe. No, so it's not Grip of Phoresis. It's from Mirrodin. There's an old school one. I forget the name, but anyway. He stole someone's equipment with Merfolk and then hit them in the face with their own Sword of Fire and Ice. So that's fun.
That is tremendous.
So Joe, I hope we get to see some of that on camera.
Yeah. So in come the knuckleheads.
I'm surprised Justin's not attacking with the Pyromancer here.
Well, it's 2 turns lethal anyway, right?
Yeah, I don't think it makes a big difference. He has a Ponder, so he could have.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Is that a bolt?
Oh, Wasteland would be. I think that's a bolt or another Pyromancer. I'm not sure why he's. Yeah.
So imagine if he attacked.
Yeah. So I think he should have pondered first at least. Before
give himself more options.
Exactly.
Make another dude.
Yeah. So pondered first. Again, with Legacy, it's always good to do what gives you the most information before you really do anything.
And we're off to round 2.
After round 2, with Justin taking it down pretty handily. Yeah, Joe just fell very far behind there, having to force of will all these threats and not finding one mana removal in particular. He had to lean on Colligan's command, which is just a bit too slow, especially since he didn't have some Deathrite acceleration. So
I think that's the main problem with the check pile deck. That's everyone knows of it as being full of removal, but it's really the Baleful Strixes that do the most of the lifting.
Yeah.
It doesn't deal with go wide strategies very well outside of its sweepers.
And Justin's hand was really, really well equipped for Baleful Strix, Baleful Strix, because it had double Pyromancer and True Name Nemesis. See, what a
and
joy.
spells.
And spells.
Yeah.
And spells. What a joy to be alive. See, my deck can't do that. Nimble Mongoose, Tarmogoyf, that's...
Go-Meg Angler for me. No, doesn't do it.
How do you beat those? So I guess Pyromancer certainly
You play your Taxiing Probe and become the villain.
become the villain. All right, so we see some sideboarding here. I saw Joe bringing in Pyroblasts, Hydroblasts. I'd imagine he'd be cutting his Force of Wills.
Yep.
And just bringing in, as much removal as he can, I imagine.
I got Blood Moon by check pile today. That was certainly interesting.
That's always a strange one, but it happens.
As I see, is it Staticaster, 2 Pyroblasts?
Yeah.
I believe in Ancient Grudge.
And I think Justin is considering the therapies as well. Especially, how do you feel about therapy against check pile?
I think it's an interesting position to take.
Yeah. So it seems like Justin's not boarding them in.
He brought them in against me in the Delvermere, and I thought that was very wrong.
Well, if you're trying to go a bit bigger and outcard your opponents, I suppose, but
the game's all about the board.
Yeah.
The hands run empty, and especially check pile, they just they're empty-handed and they play a Strix, and then they've got another card in their hand.
Yeah.
The time for you to actually probe therapy them is early on.
It's a very small window. Yeah.
And I feel like in your early turns, you want to be playing, a bit more proactively than just shredding their hand apart or taking one Strix or one Ponder.
Like Grixis Delver has the ability, as we saw with Pyromancer and things like that, to play a little bit of a longer game. But against a deck that is built for going longer, like check pile, you really, as you said, want to be shoving answers in their face and being the tempo deck.
I see Joe cutting him to Torak, which I think is a wise move.
You think it's a wise move?
Mm.
Interesting.
Because the Delver deck can just deploy its cards so quickly.
I'm actually
you just want as many answers as possible. You just want things that answer the board and things that kill or counter spells.
Hmm.
And Hymn to Torak doesn't really do that. I know you've been beaten with it with Hymn to Torak against you.
Well, I think the difference is with Honda Civic, you play a little bit more proactively than the Stifle-based Delver decks that we've played. Because Hymn to Torak really does a number on those because, well, you're trying to hold up Stifle, you're trying to hold up Spell Snare, Dazes, Forces. So I just mentioned Honda Civic, by the way. So that's the nickname. What should we call it? Nickname? That
pet peeve.
Pet peeve.
It's the name that Sean and I on the Salt Mine podcast, which we run. We came up with. Okay, so I'm a bit of a car guy, and Grixis Delver is a Honda Civic because it has no soul, it has there's nothing passionate or exciting about it. But it does just get you from A to B like no tomorrow. There is no other car like a Honda Civic in that respect.
Yeah.
But Sean and I like Alfa Romeos. We like passion and intensity. And sometimes they don't work.
Sometimes, they're... you got to work hard sometimes for them to get them working.
When you play a Stifle Delver deck, you feel like this is as good as Magic can ever be.
You're cruising along beautifully, while with Honda Civic, sometimes you just do things. As we saw, you just throw some Pyromancers at your opponent, cast some spells. All right, so a bit of an update from from the other top 4 match. We have Check Pile taking the first game
against Death and Taxes.
From Death and Taxes. So
it's a pretty favoured matchup for the Check Pile deck.
I think at least game 1, Colligan's command does certainly a number.
Yeah, and they're ramping up from the original 2 up to 3, which means the equipment are all gone.
Yeah.
So I see a Pyromancer in... Is that no land?
I think there's a Tarn. I think there is a Tarn in Justin's hand. Yes, there is a Scalding Tarn. I think both players will be keeping their hands, actually.
And good, and Joe's actually got lands and spells this time, so that's...
Yeah. All the colours of the rainbow as well. All the colours of the rainbow.
So I believe we're going to lead on Deathrite Shaman here.
Oh, even more colours of the rainbow.
My basic My basic swamp will go cast a multicolored Birds of Paradise. That's great.
Love it.
No death right. All right, so we're gonna pass back to Justin.
Interesting that he fetches. I guess there is a worry of Stifle from these Honda Civic lists. I know.
Joe's got a Blood Moon in his hand.
Oh, geez. Well, that makes sense for him to be fetching the basic. Blood Moon could end this pretty quickly.
I believe that's one of those Expedition
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It's the Expedition Blood Moon. Yeah, I had to, whenever I saw it in his hand, I had to be like, what is that, Doomsday? Doomsday in check pile? No, it's not. It's Blood Moon. All
So
right.
maybe he's just going to go for the knockout.
Oh, knockout.
You know?
I think we might see here from Justin a Pyromancer plus Go Wild. These are some of the busted starts you get thanks to Deathrite Shaman into Pyromancer. But Joe's going to have no bar of that, it seems. He has a Force of Will, pitching either Leovold or Ponder. I like fighting this. Kind of making Justin feel like he's putting Joe on the back foot and then slam a Blood Moon into his face. It could lock Joe out, though.
Okay, well, he can cast his Colligan's Command.
Yes.
No, he can't. Yes, he can.
Yes. Well, he's very... yeah, I don't know if you want to actually even cast the Blood Moon yet.
Perhaps you want to get Leovold online first.
Yeah, you want to be a little bit ahead on board. So it looks like Joe lets it resolve. Oh no. So there's going to be quite a few tokens popping out of this Pyromancer now.
See, I would have forced the Pyromancer and just slam Blood Moon and hope for the best.
I actually would have forced the Pyromancer pitching Ponder, played Leovold next turn because I think he has the correct mana.
Yep.
And then turn after that, slam Blood Moon. Because then you're really putting the pressure on Justin.
Sure, and then if he doesn't counter Leovold, you're probably pretty good to go. Blood Moon.
Exactly. So that's probably what I would do. Try and get ahead on board, then slam to Blood Moon. You can see Justin's handful of cantrips as well. So Leovold would be quite powerful. All right,
so we're gonna remove that.
Gonna play a Ponder or a Brainstorm. I like the Ponder here.
Yeah.
Yep.
3 more. Top 3. Let's have a look.
Yep.
So token. Come on, Gataxian Probe. Let's go.
Ooh, okay. So I'm not sure what that one on the top is.
Spell Pierce.
It's another Pyromancer. Okay.
Oh, at least you can cast it through a Blood Moon.
Yes, correct. That is actually one of the big benefits of Pyromancer. It can get cast through Chalice. It can get cast through Blood Moon. I've seen a lot of games where a Delver deck gets Blood Moon or Chaliced or both.
Yep.
But a Pyromancer still just makes guys.
Yep.
Like as long as you draw your spells, they don't even need to be
just lightning bolt
resolving.
them. Yep.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see which of Joe's lines.
I think this has to be Leovold. But I can understand the gutsy. Oh, I would just want to
just want to get him. Just want to get him.
But this is not the time to get him because he's very far behind.
Well, he does have a Deluge he can go for as well. So he's got a glut of 3 drops in his hand.
Yeah. Per usual issue with check pile.
I want to see this Strix attack and a Deluge for 2.
Ooh, what's happening? K-command. Oh, Leovold. I mean, Leovold does address the Pyromancer and its tokens somewhat. I think we're going to see... Oh, Joe could actually get a lot of stuff here because with the board getting glutted now, I feel Justin will be very tempted to slam this True Name.
Slam the True Name, yeah.
And then the Deluge is going to eat everything. So I think that's...
There's no good attacks to be made here.
No, there isn't. Joe's ready to say goodbye to his Leovold, but that actually will not be the case.
Justin has double True Name, though.
He does.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Joe is, going to eat a lot with this Deluge. I think Justin may have a Spell Pierce, though. No, he doesn't.
I think that's the next card down
that's the
from
next
his Ponder.
card from his Ponder. What was the other card from his Ponder?
I didn't say. I just saw the Spell Pierce.
I know it was because he drew the Pyromancer off the Ponder, which I'm not sure I like since it is a sorcery speed.
Well, Joe peels a land, so he's gonna give him the green light to play around days now as well.
Yep. So Joe could get very far ahead if this Deluge makes the money. But it seems like Justin's been the one making money so far. So he has young money.
Because he's got young money. Yeah.
Young money on the table.
A lot of interesting lines here.
Yeah. Why is Peasy young money? there a rapper?
It must be an American thing.
Young Thug is a good rapper. He is playing in Melbourne on February 28th.
Oh, who paid you to say that?
Nobody. No, I just like hip hop music. Is that an issue?
Yes.
What?
Hip hop's terrible.
It depends. I will agree there's a lot of terrible stuff.
All right, so we're going to go Cole against
interesting.
Command.
All right.
Maybe he just wants to really get a lot of value.
Yeah.
From this.
Yeah, really get a lot of value.
Make him discard a Brainstorm.
Oh, okay. Surprised Justin didn't brainstorm in response.
There were just a lot of haymakers for Joe to play on that turn, and he elected not to.
I like deluging there.
And well, Justin just drew the spell pierce.
Because now he has the pierce.
Obviously, we have perfect information.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's very tough for Joe. But I don't think your deluge gets much better than
No, hitting a true name and a pyromancer.
Yeah, that's pretty glorious.
And then you still have a Leovold.
Yeah, and he'd also be able to get an attack.
Now, if Justin plays another true name and Joe peels a land,
gross. Yeah, that would be pretty disgusting. That spell pierce will look very, very funny.
All right, so Joe down to 16.
I mean, the first part. Oh God, here we go. Justin getting very gutsy here.
Oh, Joe's got the force wheel back up as well, so he can happily let this resolve.
Yeah, and deluge everything.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, that's two of Justin's best creatures gone from the matchup for good.
Yep.
Does he have his own Colligan's commands? They're not playing Colligan's command anymore, are they?
I mean, some lists do, but all right.
And he hits the land.
He hits the land. He doesn't even need to force back. Well, this is going to be quite the cleanup.
All right, so and then he can go get the basic island as well.
Oh yes, yep. Things are really
And
lining
Moon.
up well for Joe here. I think we're going to really see him take this one down. If he makes the right plays, of course. If he makes the plays that we are suggesting. But then again, things can always go wrong. Magic is a great game.
Yeah. Joe could always concede. Well, I mean, Justin's still got a second Pyromancer.
I know. It's not like that's the thing with these Honda Civic lists. They really we've seen from Justin.
They never run out of gas because it's so fuel efficient.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
Wait, hang on. What are we doing here, Joe?
I think he's casting Deluge still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Deluge. Boom. In the house.
Boom, boom, shake the room. All right, so
Joe does it for 2.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna. So Justin doesn't even know whether he should pierce or not here. I imagine, because
I mean, what's the point of doing it anyway? It's just like you're down a spell that could fuel your Pyromancer.
Yeah, I think you just have to let it go.
Yeah, there's nothing to be gained, just making him tap out.
Yeah, this is really powerful as well, since Justin can't even brainstorm for anything else.
Oh, right, of course. So Brainstorm's a dead card too now.
Because he has Leovold in play.
Right, so an attack for 2, Justin down to 14.
Yep, down to 14.
And Joe's probably fairly in control now.
Yep, especially with the moon coming up soon. The moon coming up soon. It's...
All right, so we're fetching. Probably going to go get the basic island now.
Yep. It's right at the top.
There it is.
Lovely. What's his swamp?
That's also Ice Age.
Also Ice Age. I'm a big fan of Ice Age planes.
Me too.
Really like the art's like kind of childish, but kind of beautiful.
If you don't use snow-covered mountains in your goblin deck, you're not a real goblin player. All right, so
Justin might be able to rebuild here because he has both a Deathrite and a Pyromancer. He could just slam those. And I mean, that does sort of negate the Blood Moon in some ways. Deathrite certainly does.
He's going to force will this.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
That's great play
Especially
from
the plan
Joe.
of...
Yeah, he's really got a plan. And I think that's a great
I like
fix.
that.
Yeah, that's great. And this Pyromancer... So you can see the downside of Pyromancer here now, though.
It's just a 2/1.
It's really just a Goblin Piker.
Imagine if it was a Tarmogoyf.
If it was a Tarmogoyf...
He probably wouldn't have won game 1. So there is that. And a lightning bolt to take that out. And
all right, so we're not seeing Joe playing a bit conservative in my mind, because of course he could
so Justin's drawn his second spell pierce now.
So I don't think we're going to see this Blood Moon resolve anymore.
perhaps it's not even relevant for the minute.
Yeah, correct.
We'll just attack in.
Keep attacking with the boy. Yep. Yeah, Joe's really kind of off the Blood Moon plan really here.
Oh, and a Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's a good draw.
Yeah. So we can see check pile really doing its thing now. It just has so many end game powerhouses once it's kind of got through all of Civic's defense, well, Civic's aggression.
And with Joe having played around, Spell Pierce and Daze for so long,
Yeah.
and Justin not cantripping or having removal, you can only imagine that.
No, this is eating a Pierce.
Oh, well, it just means the Blood Moon's clear for takeoff.
Yes.
Interesting, though, that he played around it for so long and then elected to not. So Justin draws yet another land. The Leave Old Snowball effect continues.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to cast the Strix now. And maybe...
Oh, what's this? Oh, Blood Moon. With 5 lands? I'm so confused.
Oh, he's floating blue and black.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's cool.
That's good stuff.
And Justin scoops it up because he cannot deal with that anymore.
Yep.
What a cheeky nerve to play Blood Moon in your 5-color deck.
4-color deck. Well, Deathrite Shaman is a 5.
If they could play colorless, they would.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some lists have played Wasteland. That produces colorless mana.
Oh my god.
Some sideboard Thought Not Seers.
And they call me greedy.
Yeah. What did you play today? We said we played Tarmogoyf, but what did you exactly play today?
So I played original 4-color Delver. So there's 4 Deathrite, 4 Delver, 3 Tarmogoyf, and 2 Gurmag Angler. 3 Spell Pierce, 3 Stifle, and the smattering of every other blue card that every other blue deck in Legacy plays.
And I think the big thing you get is 4 Lightning Bolt plus 2 Abrupt Decay.
Oh god, Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
I mean, I still lost against TNT, but I did get to Abrupt Decay and equipment and then bolt another creature.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I think that's really see, you can see from Joe just then, these random enchantments are really doing a number on people. I saw I think Jared as well. He's playing Bitter Blossom in his check pile sideboard.
Yep.
Really taking advantage of the fact that Abrupt Decay is at quite a low if everyone is playing as a Delver deck under Civic. Because although they can splash Abrupt Decay, most people are just playing Grudge or a Braid or something like that. So they're very soft to it. And hence I think Bug Delver and something like your 4-color Delver is a reasonable option to take currently.
I was talking to Bren Garcia about check pile because he plays that a lot.
Yep.
And I said, what changes have you made? And he's like, oh, I'm playing Abrupt Decay and I'm playing Bitter Blossom. And I'm like, okay, why? And he's like, because one answers the other. Bitter Blossom is good against check pile, and then therefore Abrupt Decay is good against opposing Bitter Blossoms.
Yeah. It's like how a lot of check pile decks were playing multiple Sylvan libraries in the sideboard for kind of a similar reason. So, yeah, random enchantments. Be ready for them.
I had a Bitter Blossom on my sideboard today too.
Yeah.
Be a faux young Pyromancer.
I had a Sylvan library in my main deck today.
What was that, 29 cards for your Delver then? No longer 30?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, mine's like 30. Yeah, you're right. My flip rate is not as great anymore.
If you had four Delver, 4 Mongoose, and
3 Tarmogoyf, 1 Sylvan library.
Oh, you had your Delver flip less than mine.
Man, that's kind of depressing.
Maybe that's why you didn't do so well.
Yeah, my blind flips weren't on point today.
It's a true skill of playing Magic to be able to blind flip your Delver on call.
On call. No, the best is when you double blind flip. You have the real Delver Zoo draw, and you go Delver, blind flip it, play another Delver, blind flip it. Oh, beautiful.
But when Delver flips to Bolt, you know you're doing
well.
You
know you're doing
That's why I can't play a Delver deck without Bolt.
No.
If there's no Bolt for it to flip to, why would my Delver flip?
Well, Bug Delver never has Delver flip anyway.
No, 24 instants and sorceries. That's right. You just play him to Torek instead.
Yeah, well, flip Delver to him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Delver into him is
There is the old saying, him, I win. I mean, if you him them 3 times in a row, you probably win.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Especially against combo.
Our producer says that 3 him to Toreks are too excessive. I say not enough. Let's unban Mind Twist. So Justin's going to be on the play where the Delver deck wants to be, although it's not really a Delver deck like you and I played. There's no Stifle in this list.
No, but it still wants to be.
It's a grind you to a pulp Delver deck.
It's, as I said, it's really just, it's not elegant. It's a Honda Civic. It just throws idiots at the opponent until they die.
Well, it is very reliable.
Yeah, it is. It does that very well. Yeah. I mean, I am very tempted at times to play Honda Civic because it is...
I don't have the mojo for it.
Well, you can
Nothing
see,
good happens
but
for me.
the results speak for themselves. don't
Just
they?
not with me. That's it.
Or me.
Maybe it's a question of the meat sack and not the deck. I'm consistently in the booth. So what does that say?
Well,
Yeah, not the one playing. All right, so let's have a look at their opening hands. I see a Delver and a Ponder for Justin. I think that's a land. It's a wasteland.
wasteland. I think he's mulliganing. I think the only land in his hand is
Was
a wasteland.
Yeah.
Justin actually looked at the top card of his library there and saw it was an underground sea and probably was a bit bitter. But
No. Well, what's the point of a turn 1 Delver if it's turn 2 Delver?
correct.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
There's no guarantee. I never look. I hate looking.
I hate looking. I don't think it's
It doesn't actually teach you anything. If what
Exactly.
it's just a gambler's fallacy at that point.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Schrodinger's
land.
Schrodinger's land. All right, Justin to a 6.
All right, so I see a land. See, now he's got turn 1 Delver.
Turn 1 Delver and a Pyroblast.
Oh, and a Probe.
And the villain.
So obviously he quite liked the top card of his library then, so he can keep it while fetching.
Yes, lovely. Oop.
All right, so Joe's got a reasonable hand of lands and spells. Got a Pyroblast to defend, a Deathrite to ramp, a Brainstorm to go everything, and a Golgari Charm to sweep it up. So I don't think he
Looks
can
like-
ask for much more.
No, Joe's hand is... Well, you know your hand's great when you start off with 2 Brainstorms in hand. Like you're automatically... That's automatically like almost a snap keep.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Because the cards you're not casting for a while, if you're me.
Well, I feel like the games I win, there is a correlation. The more I win more games when I draw Brainstorm.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And when you don't draw Brainstorm,
Are you saying that Jace might be a powerful magic card?
because it brainstorms every
Because it
turn.
brainstorms every turn, yeah.
I think I'm just saying Brainstorm's a powerful magic card.
Right. So Justin finds his second land off the probe that he scribed at the top.
Oh, this is exciting. Justin has a price of progress from his sideboard. This has been pretty typical of a lot of Grixis Delver lists now as a bit of reach in these grindy matchups. I mean, in particular, check pile, but it helps against stuff
Yeah, I
like...
mean, if you can nug them for 8,
Yeah,
you
just
only
clean
take
them up.
6.
Yeah.
But they're at 8, all the better.
Especially that end game where we saw Blood Moon,
Yep.
doing a number. I mean, price of progress could have maybe even pulled him out if he was able to get.
But aren't
they
they basic mountains?
No, they're non-basic mountains. So the pop would have done 6. They're non-basic mountains.
I thought the card just says all non-basic lands become basic mountains.
No,
Or it's just become mountains. Right.
Become mountains.
It's been a while since I haven't Blood Moon someone ever. I've Megs the Moon someone.
Yep.
That's the closest I've ever got to it.
I thought you played Blood Moon in your Goblin sideboard.
It was always Magus if I ever drew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I suppose there was a Blood Moon in my Miracle sideboard once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
I never actually cast it.
No miracles here today. The
No.
ever reliable Stephen Tang on miracles did not make an appearance.
Well, he's also become the villain and gone to check pile.
So much villainy everywhere.
And the two good guys
Stuck in the booth.
stuck in the booth.
Stuck.
It's not like we've got a choice, really. We threw ourselves into the booth.
We did.
Give us something to do, please.
Oh.
No more losing.
We played Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
I thought it was a winning proposition.
It was a winning proposition, just not today.
Yeah, not today. I would have liked to play against check pile. I think.
I got to. I beat him.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's...
Our life from the loams and wastelands.
Oh, lovely. All right. So Justin, what did Justin draw? I think he drew a brainstorm.
Oh, yet another brainstorm.
He has a ponder and a brainstorm. So I think we're going to see probably...
No, he couldn't have because he's delved in flip unless he forgot to.
No, I think he
No,
forgot
I
to
think
flip
he
his-
forgot,
I
yeah.
think he forgot to flip his Delver. I think he got a bit too gutsy there.
All right, so we're going to see a ponder here.
So this is an interesting question. Do you like fetch? Ooh, there's a therapy there. That's, in my mind, a bit odd.
Well, he has Gataxian Probium, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, it's only going to be a 1-for-1.
Does Joe have 2 brainstorms in his hand?
You know what I don't like? What Justin just did there. When you fetch and you know the top card of your library is the card that you're going to fetch for, I don't like that. I think you should do the good old peruse through your deck.
Yeah.
Just for show. Just for a bit of a show.
I think you have to as well.
Just to, to conceal a bit of information.
At least it was a ponder, not a brainstorm, though. When off,
Yeah, when it's off a brainstorm in particular. that
Joe
is-
hasn't drawn a third brainstorm, has he? Oh my god.
Oh god, that
No.
would be.
So it's just a good old 2-for-1.
That's great. That was actually I think that's the best therapy you can really ask for.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse from here on in.
Yeah, I still don't like the
No.
therapies. But yeah, I definitely can't complain with that one. Delver cannot attack into the Squire body.
Justin's got a bit of a reactive hand here. He's going to lean really heavily on this Brainstorm.
And I imagine this Price of Progress.
But that's a late game card.
It is.
For now, it's
Delver needs to flip, and it's going to die to a Pyroblast soon. So I actually...
Is that a Baleful Strix Joe's drawn?
Oh, no. So I think Justin's actually pretty behind here.
Justin's very behind it because now Joe gets to play his game plan.
Yeah. So Baleful Strix can...
I mean, it'll get Pyroblasted if Delver flips.
Well, he's drawn a card already from the Strix, though. Ideally, you want to Pyroblast these.
Well, he's just trying to kill him. He's not trying to make friends with him.
But the thing is here, you can see that the issue with cards like Cabal Therapy, it forces you to spend a mana, and your opponent hasn't spent any mana, and you're getting rid of their cards. And of course, now Justin didn't get to hold up this Pyroblast, and now this Baleful Strix.
And that's another Baleful Strix.
So
when it replaces itself, disgusting.
So
I mean, what did he cut to squeeze in the Cabal Therapy?
I think I saw Justin cut all of his Force of Wills, which
Days would be pretty good.
To cut Days, you think? I love a Days against a check pile deck.
See, this deck can't really, it's not Stifle Wastelanding so much, so.
I think it's still fine, though. I think you can still pressure them fast enough that your Dazes are live.
So I'm going to brainstorm in response to the Pyroblast. Say, Ponder.
All right, these are good cards. True Name Nemesis and Gurmag Angler could certainly bail him out. Well, not Gurmag Angler so much. But
I would put back that, yeah, we go, the Price of Progress.
Yeah, I like that.
And Ponder and Shuffle and keep the True Name in Gurmag. Just try and get something going.
It looks like he put the pop above the Gurmag, which I actually like. Well, if I was Justin and I had the information that I had on the board, I think the Gurmag's fine because you can blast the Strix and then start smashing with the Gurmag.
You just want to get something going. He can't spin his wheels forever.
But in this case, we see Justin opting to keep the Price and not the Gurmag. And of course, Price isn't doing much if you're still spinning your wheels. So, yeah,
It's a perfect top deck on turn 6, but right now
it's not great.
Not where he
but
wants
I
to
mean,
be.
With perfect information, we know that shuffling away the Gurmag is actually good because
look, I can see the logic in it.
Yeah, I can.
It's look, I've drawn my sideboard card. This will be good.
Yeah.
Oh, he
drew the Gurmag anyway.
That's good. So he's cleared the top of his library.
Yeah. The good old shuffle away some stuff and draw it again. Mr. Stephen Capavilla had a great experience today, shuffling away the same days 6 times and drew it. Well, he drew a Days again and again and again when Days was not very good at all. So
Joe picked up a fetch land, so that marks the first turn in this game that a player's gone to 3 mana. Well, I mean 3 lands.
I think Justin would really like to get to 3 mana here.
Yeah,
because this True Name needs to stay alive. Because it's really his only hope of getting there. And I don't even think he can race these Strixes in this Deathrite, though. So...
Yeah, Justin's already behind on life total. I mean, maybe Price of Progress will...
I think that's the plan, right? Slam a True Name, ideally next turn, and then keep bashing in with that until the opponent is within pop range. Maybe some more bolts will help that out as well.
Well, at least he's got a Pyroblast to protect any of these threats from a counterspell.
Yeah. I think there's...
It's just whether he's got enough time to get there. I mean, like,
I think he's got a... Oh, it's an Angler, right.
All right, so a probe, so a redraw, but, life's going to start adding up now.
Yeah. Justin's just falling a little bit too far behind here.
Oh, and Joe's got the Golgari Charm as well, so that True Name's...
Yeah, it's not long for this world.
And the Flusterstorm.
I mean, it kills the Baleful Strix.
Right, so a Spell Pierce.
I guess that's the problem with True Name in these kind of situations. Not only do you need
3 mana
to play it, but you also need 4 mana to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
So Gurmag Angler, not looking great.
I suppose if Justin can get to his 3rd land, Joe can sweep the board, but it'll also kill the Strixes.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still left.
This is 18 lands in Delver decks just scare me. Unless you're playing Canadian.
Well, you're playing Deathrite though.
Yeah, I know, but it's if you don't have Deathrite and you get one.
Yeah.
I think we are seeing a bit of bad luck on Justin's side right now. But he's just struggling to get, and that's a Force of Wills. That's a
Force of Will to pair with the Flusterstorm. So, ooh, this Force of Will is actually hardcastable, which is exciting. All right. I think Joe can just sit tight.
Yeah, he's in no rush to do anything.
Plink away with the Deathrite Shaman. Oh yeah, attack with the Strix, I guess, is reasonable. But yeah, he can just sit back in this wall of
he
Strix.
can fluster the Pyroblast if he feels the need to. Or...
Yep. He's really in great position, right?
Is that a third land or is it a wasteland?
It's a wasteland, so it is a third land, but I think this is going to be a
hardcast Force of Will.
True name Nemesis. True name Nemesis. So he can hardcast Force. See, this is. I still don't mind the days in this matchup. If Justin boarded them out for therapies.
I think Joe will probably play around it by just pitching Flusterstorm.
Yeah, I think Flusterstorm doesn't especially since Justin is tapped out. I mean, I think the consideration. I mean, Joe's got it all though, doesn't he?
He really does.
I think it's really just an option of whether he wants to save his Baleful Strix or not.
I think he does against the Gurmag Angler.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a pretty hard card for them to deal with anyway.
Exactly. So I guess the Gurmag Angler is doing a little bit of work by making Golgari Charm less of a reasonable prospect.
Yep.
Looks like Joe let it resolve. Not sure if I like this.
No.
I think with the check pile deck, especially against Delver, you just need to use your cards. Just use your cards and
don't hold on to them forever.
No.
I don't think Flusterstorm's going to get a hell of a lot better in this situation anyway.
Not at all, especially with Justin having more and more lands.
I mean, Joe's going to take up to 8 damage on this turn.
Yeah.
And the Delver deck is the aggressive deck, so it does clock faster.
Yeah. We could see Pop actually do a number on Joe here, actually.
We just need to get him to
burn the Force of Will first.
Not only that, but the Flusterstorm, and then fetch some more lands as well.
Well, there's 2 fetch lands there, ready to go.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's 2 extra damage already.
Yeah,
that's
one land.
That's 1 land. It's equivalent to 1 land. All right, so
look, it's a close game. They've sort of spun a lot of mud this game. They haven't really done anything extreme. Like we saw the 2 extremes. Game 1 was just Justin just vomiting all over the board.
Yes.
And then Joe controlled the board.
Yep.
And now they're just sort of, he's a Baleful Strix like pin.
Baleful Strix.
What does an owl hit you with? Like its beak? Does
yeah.
it, like dive
this has metal wings.
Metal wings.
So slap you a bit. Give you a bit of a spank with the wing. Yeah, but owls are birds of prey.
Are they?
Owls are birds of prey. They look really like, because Harry Potter has made owls emasculated.
Well, you know, a bird, the owl in Greek thingamabobby it's the bird of wisdom. It's Athena's bird.
Yes, yeah, but they have big claws.
Oh, they just love me.
They have big claws. You know, in my backyard, actually, there's an owl. And it actually spews up, like, possum bones.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so you find, like, broken possum bones in the backyard.
And you wonder how they got there.
And you wonder how they got there. And then you realize owls, they prey on possums in the night.
Oh, I really quite like these owls now. Maybe we can get some owls to go to Brisbane and take care of the ibis problem.
The ibis problem.
So,
Is there an ibis magic? There is. There's the god, the ibis god.
well, is it like the scarab god except it eats out of the bin? It's got like a reanimated package, like scavenging ooze sort of deal. Like you take something out of the bin and you gain a life.
So for our international viewers, ibises in Australia are not the noble creatures you would expect from Egyptian folklore.
No, they're called bin chickens.
We call them bin chickens here because they sit around and scavenge bins and eat leftover McDonald's, and
they tear open the bag and the KFC box and then eat whatever's left in there.
Yep.
And then spew it all over the ground in front of you.
Yep.
And they stink.
Yes, they smell. They smell. So yeah, it makes me a bit sad, to be honest. This regal, this animal adored by
no one. Literally no one.
The Egyptians loved them.
Well,
We should talk about Magic the Gathering.
The game's progressing on.
Sort of. All right. So Justin got in a hit with his true name Nemesis. Joe gets another hit in with his Baleful Strix.
I wonder if Justin's trying to set a trap.
I think he is. I think he's
Just
trying to
nug
make
him
this,
a little bit and
then pop.
And then blast one of the birds out and then hit for 8 with the Gurmag as well.
Well, there's always the Death Right to kind of.
If the Death Right gets blocked, or if the Gurmag gets blocked by the Death Right, I think it's a win for Justin as well.
Definitely. But
well, Justin's at 5.
yeah, I think that's why Joe didn't.
So he's
care
just
so
dead?
Much. Yeah, I think that's why Joe didn't care so much about the true name, because
2, 4, 5. Yeah, he's
Justin
dead.
can't even cast pop. He'll kill himself.
Maybe we can get to a draw.
Hoi. What
Maybe.
happens then? They just play
They have
another
to play another
within
game.
time.
It's not best out of 3. It's first to 2.
Yeah. So, but they're not going to make that considering there is 18 seconds on the clock.
It's untimed. They are just playing quite slowly. I'm going to call them out on this. They are both playing very slowly.
Give us enough time to talk about Ibis, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else would we fill the airwaves with? So a force.
On the blast.
So Joe down to 12.
See what I said? I like this. Joe's just using his cards now.
Yeah.
Your cards in Legacy, your cards aren't that precious.
No.
Like, you just need to... Force of Will's there to be used on a good target.
And
And
never-
True Name is a very good target.
And never get
Gurmag Anger.
attached.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get attached to those Force of Wills. It's not like you're playing against a combo deck.
Yeah, you can't take them with you to the next game. So just use them. All right, so we've taken the timer out because the players have just actually broken the space-time continuum by playing so slowly.
It is untimed, is what Steve means. It is untimed. So that's why we do have a bit of a relaxed atmosphere.
We can still issue them a slow play warning. All right, so
So the screen has disappeared.
we're back.
We have returned with Justin.
Still haven't decided what to do. He's
He played a
drawn
death
Right.
right. He played a death right. I don't think that's not doing much here.
He's just dead. Death right, end of turn. Death right,
Yeah.
upkeep. Baleful Strix attack.
Yeah, I think he's just dead. So this is a desperation attack.
Yeah, the old Hail Mary.
I think. Yeah.
If I'm Justin, I'm taking myself out.
With the pop.
Yeah, I'm going on my terms.
The good. Yeah, that's what everyone does. Though. The good old bolt. Ooh.
Oh, he's regenerating. No way.
He's
No
regenerating.
way.
Joe always has
Or
something.
he's just going to wipe the board.
No way. He's regenerating his Baleful Strix.
But he's put it in the bin.
No, the Gurmag
No,
Anger
it's there.
has gone in the bin.
Oh my God.
I can't believe we're getting into a fight about this.
A bin chicken.
Coming back. Oh, it gets tapped
But that's-
because it's regenerated.
Yeah. When was the last time that one came up for you?
I'm Ancient Silverback. You know, the gorilla that
What was that from
regenerates?
like the 7th edition pre-con deck?
Ninth edition.
Ninth
actually.
edition.
I don't know if he was in the pre-con. He was a rare, and he got shifted down to an uncommon.
Power creep. Another
Poor-
victim.
Poor fellow.
Another victim of Maro's power creep.
Yeah, I really idolized that card.
I'm pretty sure that was in the 7th edition starter decks.
I
my
think
friends
it
and I
was.
had.
I think it was. It's been
So
in many of the
Gurmag's
courses.
dead. Yeah, put it in the bin.
Yep.
You can't. Okay, you can swell piece if you want. I
Fish
guess that
in
would buy
bin.
him a turn, right?
I mean, Justin's just kind of a.
Well, if you made him tap out, then he couldn't. Well, he can't actually death right anyway this turn.
Yeah. He can't.
Maybe that Golgari charm play was too greedy.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's not a chain lightning or a light. No, oh my God, that's a lightning bolt
Oh no!
that Joe's drawn.
Oh, it's actually a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Oh well. All right. Well,
drain you, bolt you.
JNU.
See ya.
You can also play around the Pierce. I think Joe is getting a bit gutsy here, though. I guess Justin will go for the Pierce here.
Okay, so Justin's making him tap his land,
Top. Yeah.
and he's going to take himself out. Love it.
Small victories. Love it.
All right, so we'll bring it back to the booth.
We are back. That was a
That was a grind.
grind.
It was a grind to commentate too.
No, I think the first game showed the real power of Honda Civic, as I said, when it draws a bunch
Yeah.
of threats and a bunch of spells, just does its thing, kills the opponent. Game 2, we saw Joe. Well, I think Justin got a little bit too frisky with deploying the second true name.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you have to play around. What if they him my thing out of my hand, or my true name out of my
true.
hand?
It's true. So
That's why I'm off true name a little bit.
oh, I love
I
a
just
true
want
name.
I want cards that don't die to marsh casualties.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But we saw him, get a bit frisky with that, get punished by the deluge, and then Joe really cleaned it up with the moons and the Leovolds and stuff like that.
All right, so we'll see here for the finals. It's probably going to be a check-on-check affair.
Well, that's going to be a grind.
We'll look forward to that and see you in the finals.